Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to draw an event in a series of shots, as few as possible. What is it? 1, 2, I just picture it in 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. 1, 2, 5 shots. We'll do 5 shots. Okay? So, first one, if you picture this 1851, so, right? Then we'll go ahead and name every shot's focal length as we go along. So, this would be a door, right? It's very hard because I'm left-handed, but anyway. So, this would be shot on a 50. Semi-personal. 50 is semi-personal, right? So this would be a door, and whatever would be right here to your right. Basically, it's going to be center or center right frame. So like center right, and then it's going to be open door. So we have the shot where the door starts closed, and then it opens up, right? And you see someone come in it, and then shut the door, right? So the person will enter. None of these arrows are going to make sense to you if you haven't storyboarded before, but this just means somebody coming in, or it can actually mean, actually let's erase that, that's for consistency. So person enters. So turning of the doorknob, it could be even tighter than this if you want. You could be an 85 if you wanted to, and then generally you have a turning of the doorknob, right? And you have the door opening slowly, and then person entering, and then the door shutting. That's number 1. Think about that for a second. Number 2 would be you'd have to shoot it on a wider focal length, so it'd probably be like a 24 or 35, something like that, because we're going to be raking downward. So number 2 is going to be a raking down shot. So you picture this as the frame. It's going to be a raking down shot, and it's going to pan like this, right? And what we're following is, this is a little bit hard to draw downward, but what we're following is footsteps. So, yeah, this is the dumbest shoe I've ever seen in my life, but basically we're following footsteps. So number 2 would just simply be, you're starting from this point right here when the person enters, and the camera is panning left to right. And it would probably be 35 or a 24. So that's shot number 2. Starting off from static, then panning, pan, rake down. So the camera's doing the same movement, but it's more or less doing that as it's walking through, then it's stopping here. So if you want to say like stop back to 1 and then at 2, right? So absorb shot number 2. Okay, so number 3. You already have the other 2 in your mind. Now remember, these are just all master shots. You don't need coverage on this, right? Now we're going, this is a little bit of a complicated shot, and I'm going to have to probably divide it. So we'll put up a dividing line. So each one of these represents your frame, okay? So this is frame 1, this is frame 2, and what we're doing is, this represents okay, open means a move, just for reference. Open means a camera, like a dolly or a boom. But colored in means tilt or pan. So that's tilt or pan. So what we're going to do is tilt down. So we're going to start off on this. We're in the bathroom, and it's going to be there'll be a mirror there, right? And this one will reflect other mirror. So it's going to reflect another mirror over there to the right. You don't need that, but It's a cabinet that's a mirror, and it opens. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a hand enter, and then it's going to open up the cabinet door, the mirror, so you get it. So basically, I mean, this is out of frame now. So basically inside here you have all of your cabinety items, a tray, women's shit, you know, lots of some deodorant, creams, gels, eye contacts, whatever. You don't have to get that detailed. Either way, down here, the hand is going to grab something out of its many little tools, and then it's going to pull it out, and the hand's going to move down out of frame, and then we're going to tilt down. So in number 2, we're tilting down to the hands. Now the hands have, if you can picture, you're changing it to a rake. So this actually changes it down to a raking full shot on it. So both of the hands will end up looking something like that. What we've done is we've had the hand come in. You have a shot of the mirror for for a beat or so. Then the hand comes in, opens the mirror, pulls something out, this little item right here, let's say, pulls it out, and then it goes out of frame. The hand goes out of the frame with the item, and then we tilt down to the 2 hands together, and it unflicks a razor. So what have we established so far? Taking this 3rd shot. Okay, so the 4th shot, what I would want to do is basically I'm going to go from, I would want to shoot it on a 50 because it is not only, I mean, you can do an 85 as well, depending on how much you want to emphasize or make it personal. An 85 is a personal lens. A 50 is personal, and it can be objective. That's why I use the Jiro Ozu used to use it. It would give this very strange kind of, he's looking at something objectively, but it allows your eyes to dwell on the imagery, the beautiness of it that you don't normally see, that you don't normally catch because you're constantly looking in this peripheral vision. Anyway, I would shoot it on a 50. So, but it's optional, right? Also, what this allows for, because what this shot is going to be is, let's just try right here. We're going to catch a shoulder, right, like so, right? Catch a shoulder, and we're going to have quite possibly you can catch a chin. It's up to you if you want to catch the chin or not. It's a pretty weak chin. If somebody had a neck like that and a chin, they would be scary looking. How do I look at this way? So, all right, anyway, if you wanted to, this person is breathing in and out. You understand? So what did we go from? Remember what we went from? Of course you do. We just cut directly to it, from it. So anyway, we would hang on this for a moment, all right? A moment, or as screenwriters call it, a beat, right? Equals a beat. To give you an example, hey, how you doing today? I'm all right. It's probably a little bit more than it's probably 1.5, almost 2 seconds. That's what a beat is. It's a chance enough for a realization, but it's between there. It's kind of, it could be a gray area, but a moment in an actual shot is equivalent to that. Or you can hang on it for a while if you want to, just to, you know, you play with that in post, but either way, I mean, shoot it for a good, I would shoot it for a good, 10, 20 seconds. Who knows? Actually, I just came up with another idea. So if I shot it on a 50, what I was going to say is, like, it would get the background a little bit as well. And maybe he had a sliding glass door back here, right? So I'll show you a little artist trick right here. I'm going to give this depth. See how this is flat? It looks totally flat. I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to show you how to give it depth right now. Okay, so we just gave it depth, and maybe he had a fence back here, right? That's going to look like a bunch of teeth. So he's got a fence, right? Now he's got it. and maybe he has a bunch of stuff like lamps on his thing, and this leads to a gate or something like that, like lamps sticking up. It doesn't matter because this back here would probably be out of focus on a 50. You would just catch this right in about here. It really depends on your lighting situation, but at most, even if you had optimal light, and you know, DPs who are watching will be like, how are you gonna match the interior to the exterior, dude, without putting diffusion on the... Okay, yeah, I get it. Either way, keep that in mind. Say you have the budget to put ND filter over the window, right? So you can match it. So if you match it, at most, it's going to get up to the midpoint of right here. So it will get the window and it'll get a little bit of the backyard. The important thing is what's in your foreground. The foreground is what? What's in the foreground, right? Foreground is a throat. Breathing. Don't know how to spell. Breathing and sleeping. So he's breathing and he's asleep. Okay, so what did we go for? What was number 3? And where is your mind right now? What is your mind thinking? What did you immediately think when I had the throat? It's exactly the types of things how screenwriters should write. They should write in imagery. Directors should think in imagery. 2 separate images create a third idea. Just simply by me, if I were to go back to shot 3, and you could try it, go to shot 3, wait a couple seconds, come to shot 4. What do you think is going to happen next? Okay, if you write like that, you're going to write very interesting and provocative stories. And you can stretch them out and play with the time and pacing and all that different stuff. There's no time limit to it. This could take as long as you want it to. But what have we established up to this shot right here that you're looking at? Number 1, we have a door handle turning. We have a door opening, somebody entering, shutting the door, right? With maybe a gloved hand. Woo-hoo. Then we have the feet walking. And we have the pan with it to the right. It's raking down, right? Kind of ominous, okay? Then we go to number 3, which is the kicker. It is in the bathroom of the mirror. And I think I said 5 shots, but we've turned this into 4. So we've actually cut a shot out. And this could literally be, you know, some writers, this could be a whole page. But either way, we've gone to the bathroom. And we have the mirror, and we have the hand entering, opening the mirror, grabbing something out of the mirror slowly, pulling it out of frame, tilt down to the hands open up a razor blade. So we have gone from a razor blade to a throat. So what do you think? Razor blade to a throat? What do you think is going to happen? Is this man going to have an accident? Okay, so basically, we already know what you're thinking. The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to cut away to, either we're in a horror and you're going to see a throat being slit, or we're going to cut away to a morgue or something like that and be like, Columbo, we got this guy that came in here, his throat was cut ear to ear. Yeah. That's what Columbo would do. I wouldn't do that. Maybe we can change it up. So we can change that idea from, say, okay, you've led me this far, which is suspense. This is all suspense. This is how you think of suspense. This is how you draw storyboard suspense. This is how you write suspense, right? In the 2 image equals a third idea premise. What I would do is I would throw you off. So I would hang on this for a few seconds. And then what I would have happen is I'd have sounds kind of play with you. So you would hear the room environment. You would hear him sleeping soundly. Then I would have the phone ring. And the phone ring would probably startle you, even though it wasn't the intention. And then what I would do is I would just have him sit up and I would just follow him with the camera. That was really loud. So basically him getting up like that, or just him rolling over. So he would basically, in my mind, I'd have him roll over after the phone rings. He picks up the phone and he wouldn't even say anything and just holds it to his ear. So instead of someone who is killed, in my mind, we've made him the detective, right? Now, in order to give the payoff to the audience, which they so desperately need, I would then go to the scene of the crime where whoever took that razor blade what they did. Or I would cut to something completely different that I can't think off the top of my head, but maybe use the razor blade to cut a loaf of bread or something like that. But you would, that I think, just thinking about it, I would think I would feel cheated. I'd be like, you know, you just set up a murderer and you didn't have a murder take place. You better have something that's better than a murder. But either way, you get the idea. The point is that within 4 simple shots, I just set up this idea in your head that this dude's gonna be killed. And that was the goal. That's it.